Dr.Zane, let's start.
So how is everybody feeling? Yay! Mental health doctor came here to talk to you guys. So it's always, how are you feeling? About me, there is this clicker. Where do I need to click to change something? So I am a doctor, resident in psychotherapy in Riga University, and I also have been a salesperson in direct sales for 10 years. I was doing door-to-door sales, and I was a sales manager, a sales leader, so I know how it feels to live in a stressed environment for a long time. For me, the biggest thing was it was commission-based, so I was never able to plan my budget. Now, for the first time in my life, I have a salary. It's great. But yeah, for me, that was the stressed environment that I was living in. And I switched careers because I just wanted to do something more meaningful. Because I was tired of teaching sales to people for 10 years. So, and today I'm mostly gonna teach you guys from my sales experience, because I have lived it and I have developed some strategies how to help with this overwhelming feeling and things that you experience in your day life. But as a doctor, how does the burnout happen is that you have deadlines, many meetings, lack of deep focus, no time to rest, and then it affects your brain. And the brain activates and it goes to your kidneys. And in kidneys there's cortisol. Has anybody heard about cortisol? Everybody. And it's a hormone, it's a stress hormone. We need it to fight, to survive, to take care of ourselves. But if we are in this stress mode for such a long time, then it just circulates, there's no rest. And then it affects our nervous system, our muscles, our brain, our heart, our energy, how we sleep. And then depends where it hits. It hits your muscles, you get tension. It hits your heart, you can have blood pressure up, blood pressure down. You can have arrhythmia if you can't sleep. You have trouble sleeping, you have trouble falling in sleep, you have trouble to wake up. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you can go different ways. And I'm going to talk about how to try to stop this, or if you have it, then how to get out of it. But if somebody feels like they're deep in this already, some systems are affected, not just one, then I also suggest to seek help, either some medicaments or therapy. There's different ways how to get people out of it. But if it's not that severe, this might help you. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the change is not easy, how to set priorities, the golden hour, and control, influence, and etc. But before I start these strategies, you probably have heard some good lectures, some good books, podcasts, people talking, people trying to help you guys, that it just doesn't click or it doesn't stick. Am I right? Right. Yes, that's what I thought. Because in sales it was the same. There was meetings, but just there was something not working. And one thing I have noticed is our comfort zone. Not that you're comfortable with your stress, comfortable with your habits that lead you to this lifestyle. So the first thing is, if you do wanna change something, you will have to get out of your comfort zone, and it's gonna build some friction. Like, it's not gonna be easy. Like, I'm gonna speak today, there's 2 other people speaking. If you do wanna change something, it's gonna take effort. It's not gonna be that easy, right? And one thing that keeps us in our comfort zone is guilt. And then it's gonna take some discipline. And what I have found that helps with discipline is, one thing is switching mindset, that you switch your mindset from being reactive. Reactive person is a person that life happens to them. Somebody talks to them, there's email, there's message, there's boss texting you, and the person just reacts to all the events that are happening. The other mindset that I like going for is being proactive. That you set your priorities, you schedule your meetings, you have a troubled teammate, you go and approach that person before that person comes to you with a huge mess. You read, you take care of yourself. That's a mindset switch. And another thing that can help with discipline and the ideas that we all are sharing today is accountability. In sales, before I was a sales manager, I always went to my manager and we were talking about goals, and she helped me with setting accountability. That if I'm not going to do this and this, I will have some punishment. Let's say at one point I wanted to start sports. So I said, I'm going to go to gym twice a week, and if I don't, I'm going to pay her some money. It was super effective. Or this accountability can be one of your coworkers, your manager, your spouse, your best friend. Somebody that you, with these ideas that we're going to share, you decide, okay, this is something I really want to focus on to help me. Can you help me with this? And that person is allowed to influence you. That person is allowed to say, no, that's not good. Or challenge you, or just check in. And you can be that person for somebody else. So this is something that could help you to have these ideas in your life. So the ideas. Has anybody heard this? Sand, rocks, and pebbles. Super simple idea. So the idea is visual. That there's a jar, there's sand, pebbles, and rocks, and you need to put it in the jar. And if you start with the sand, then there's no place for rocks. But if you start with the rocks, then the little pebbles, they find place, and then the sand find place. So everything you can put. So what is this jar? What do you guys think? Time, life, your work life, it can be your personal life. And so what are those big rocks? Priorities. It can be in your work, or it can be in your life. Like if somebody is not feeling well, then priority might be their health. And to help with their health, they need to schedule sleeping, eating, exercise. So those would be the big rocks at that point in their life. If everything's fine, then they have higher career goals, they want to get better positions or whatever a person wants, then the career could be a bigger rock. And deciding what are going to be those milestones that I need to focus on to really get to my goals. Super simple stuff. Most people mess it up. Most people fill their jar with sand, small stuff, and then the big rocks, they're somewhere. Yeah, this is a thing that I have loved in my life. this is the thing I love. Like, it completely changed my mindset when I was like 19-year-old and I heard about it. It's called Pareto principle. So 20% of the things that you will do will give you 80% of results. The tricky part is to live with the guilt that you did make a decision, that this is what I'm going to focus on, and other things are just in the background. For example, when I was studying medicine, I just had to learn autonomy. It was a priority. I just had to learn it super well. And because I did, next years in studies, I had a picture of a human body and understood how one thing affected another thing. So learning autonomy was my 20%. It gave me 80% in return. In sales, 20% was doing sales calls. It gave me business. 80% would be a struggling teammate that I would have to sit down one-on-one for 1 hour every day. But that person just wasn't producing. So what I did, I gave that person to follow a top producer. So instead of me spending 5 hours in a week trying to teach something, that person was following and trying to learn, or they didn't. And that guilt was the feeling that I had to kind of live with. I'm writing my master thesis, so my 20% is surveys and interviews with the people in expertise. So I was sure that I did that. And then the theory and all the paperworks were secondary. Does this kind of make sense? The tricky thing is to decide what are going to be those 20%. And you actually have to sit and think what are going to be those things, and when you make a decision, you stick with it. I think this has been the biggest help in my life. And with this cognitive hygiene, you just don't think about it because you made a decision that this is how it's going to be. And another thing that was mind-blowing was like a golden hour, firefighting hour. Before I was that smart. I was in a meetings, or doing sales calls, or presentations, interviews, and then there was messages coming in WhatsApp, in my email, in different sources, and I was sitting in a meeting and I was like, I have these messages I need to deal with. So the golden hour means that you schedule a time in your day when you will deal with emergencies. Maybe in IT it's hard, because I have heard that it's emergency always. Or am I right? Or right?
No, but sometimes there are situations where it's really like you need to deal with situation in like 15 minutes or 30. If it's like a super high priority, but it's not like an emergency all the time.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking that if it's a luxury to schedule like 2-3 hours to deal with emergencies, you can play games. You can do 45 minutes of deep work with your main project and then 15 minutes for emergencies. And you are disciplined, like you wait till it's 45 minutes, you have done your main job, and then you open that emergency email box. If it's too much of a luxury, or it demands too much of you, that really has helped because you schedule time when you can deal with these. And then when you are at some meeting or one-on-one or doing something, you don't have this anxiety to check your email. And that also has helped with staying clear where you are. Awesome. So these were kind of more technical things that I have done. And it's not a lot. Again, those are those 20% of how I make decisions, but they give me 80% of my mental space. Just following the strict rules how I'm gonna let information come to me. But this is more like a mindset shift. It's called control, influence, and accept. So control is the things that you're 100% responsible for. What are things that we can control in our lives?
When we eat, when we sleep, hopefully. We can control that.
We can control how we breathe.
Sure.
Let's breathe.
Whether we do sports?
No, let's breathe, everybody.
Okay.
It's like a group activity. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. This is something we can control completely. And that's how I approach problems. What are the things that I can control? Yeah, like you said, what we eat, when we go to sleep, at what time we wake up, what we watch, what we read, do we exercise. This is in our control, and this feeling pushes you more to this proactive mindset instead of reactive mindset. And if a person feels that person is in control of their life, it also helps with staying mentally sane. Then the next thing is influence. Things that we can, like when I was in sales, there was a client not happy with something. I can't control that person. That person has emotions toward me, not positive ones, but I can influence that person by being kind, listening. I can't control it, and I let it go. Again, I did my part. My control was to be kind and understandable. If that person didn't take it, it's fine. And then accept. Sometimes you just have to accept some things. It can be weather, it can be traffic, it can be internet, it can be so many random things, and you just, no, this is it. And again, you don't think about it, and you just go through this list. Is this my controllable? No. Can I influence it? No. Then I just accept it. And this overthinking doesn't start. Make sense? So these are three things. The golden hour, priorities, and Pareto principle, then control, influence, and accept. And if it's not possible, if it's too much, then you can control your free time. And if the work environment is crazy, then at least there's something you're looking forward. How are you going to spend your free time? Like actually schedule it. Either it's going to be with your friends, your spouse, your family, with yourself. It's something that gives you like hope. And most people don't do it. Most people just go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, and then there's Friday. I'm tired. What do I do? Don't sleep. Watch a movie. But if you actually think what you want to do at the weekend, it also helps. It just helps in my personal experience. And also having routines in the evening, like digital detox, don't look in the screens, reading an actual book helps, writing a journal helps with emotions if it's too much in the evenings. Thank you.